What's your weirdest déjà vu story? Story 1. I've never shared this story with anyone. It's kind of nuts to be honest, but it feels like an appropriate time to do so. For several years I had a job that literally paid me to be a globe-trotter and basically do whatever the hell I wanted on the company's dime. I'd occasionally, once every few months, have an assignment from the company to hand courier documents or something for them. My first hand courier assignment had me fly back to the HQ and hand deliver a satchel of documents to a villa in the French Alps and then return them straight back to HQ after she finished them up. I had the weirdest sense of déjà vu when I saw this place. Even more so when the owner answered the door. She was so familiar to me but I couldn't place where or how I knew her from. She asked me to come in and take a load off while she went over the documents. I asked if she'd mind if I poked my nose around in a few rooms and explore a bit, and she was very sweet about it and had no problems with that at all. She recommended I take in the view from the library. I ended up sitting on a piano bench in this well-appointed music room staring out at the mountains. I was entranced by the sight from this particular window for some reason. I was so enraptured with the view from this window that I didn't even hear her come in the room. She tapped me on the shoulder and that finally pulled me out of my reverie. I apologized profusely for my discourteous lack of attention to her when she was looking for me and explained that I just couldn't pull myself away from the view because it was one of the most beautiful sights I'd ever laid eyes on. She sat down next to me and softly said that I reminded her of her son a little with the way I was holding my body looking out that particular window. It had also been his favorite view prior to his passing 25 years earlier. I apologized again for upsetting her as I wasn't being a very good representative of the company or representative of their values. I'm thinking I screwed up big time here, and as soon as I get back to HQ I'm fired because she's like a high-level VIP customer, which is why I was apologizing so much. Rather than being upsetting, she found it comforting to see me there, and it gave her a sense of déjà vu and closure simultaneously. She offered me a tour of the house and a cup of coffee, which I accepted. That entire villa was a complete sense of déjà vu for me. It was like a house I'd grown up in, but I'd never been there prior. It was so weird. Story 2. I was 13 years old and at sleepaway camp for the first time. I was getting kind of homesick, and I had a terrible time sleeping. One dream I remember, though, was a dream about two girls who had had something bad, I don't remember what, happened to them. They were scared, and they stayed in a house together. When I woke up and went to breakfast the next day, I noticed an officer who was wearing a bulletproof vest and helmet and had a gun. When breakfast was over, I asked one of my leaders why the man was there. She replied that two girls had had something bad happen to them, and had been placed in the summer camp, with a house to themselves. It totally freaked me out, and I've never mentioned it to anyone besides now. Please, give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to notifications for new incredible stories from Reddit.